software I was always interested in. It just never really fitted my pipeline all that much, due to it being very heavily rig-oriented and me being mostly a hand-drawn animator. But Moho 14 really knocked it out of the park with its new and improved drawing engine, and the minute I have started to play with it, I just felt like a lot of creative joy and freedom that I haven't felt in over 10 years. So many options and fun brushes, flexible rigging tools. I just felt like a kid discovering a new box full of toys, and I just wanted to create a lot of stuff with it. It was just a lot of fun. And when friends saw that I was having that much fun in Moho, everybody started asking like, oh yeah, I've been wanting to learn it for so long, but I've never found the person to teach it, so when are you gonna do tutorials about it? And honestly, it was like, no, I don't want to do tutorials about Moho. Not that I didn't want to do it, I just felt I had no authority on the matter. I can teach Maya, I can teach Harmony. I have over 10 years of experience in both. But for Moho, it was just dabbling in it for fun, but people insisted. I could but accept my destiny. So yeah, 2026, new year, new me. Starting today, we are hopping on a new Moho journey, I guess. For those of you who, rightfully so, doubt my Moho skills and authority on the matter, it's fine, I brought backup.
Hello, I am Victor Paredes. I am an animator and co-owner of Moho. I have been following this channel for a long time, so I am very excited to see ZeBirdBrain and other users finally starting to use Moho lately. And we are very excited about these tutorials. We have had several meetings talking about how to do some stuff with Moho, how maybe it is a bit different to what you are used to do in other software. So we really hope you enjoy these tutorials. We really hope you enjoy using the software, and hopefully we can see some cool stuff created by you. So thank you very much for watching. Bye.
So yeah, I'm gonna send all my videos directly at the source just to make sure that I'm not saying a bunch of bullcrap. So hopefully this helps a lot of people, because this software is amazing and it's so accessible, and I just want more people to be able to use it. So let's dive in, have fun, and explore. So before you were able to do like a fun project like this one, there's a lot of steps for you to take, okay? So let's take them together. So today we're just gonna learn to open the software, get it running, and draw a few frames, okay? No cleanup, no crazy rigging things, just the basics, okay? So first off, when you launched Moho, it will always open by default with a cool scene. It's like the lottery, you never know what you're gonna get. So each time you open the software, it's nice because you get a little burst of inspiration from a project that someone else made, and it always gets me thinking like, oh, how did they do it? So sometimes I spend time exploring, and it's really fun. But if you don't want that, know that you can go into the settings, and you can just go over here and change the startup file to either an empty document, nothing, or you have the choice. So let's start from a new file. I'm gonna go to File, New, and I have an empty file. I know that no matter the software, starting in something new is always intimidating. Just take it one thing at a time, okay? First, I'm gonna show you one thing that is so important in Moho, and it's the frame 0. So if you look at the timeline that is down there, I'm gonna make it a bit bigger by just pulling it up like this. If you look over here, there is the frame 0. So frame 0 is really important. If you do rigging, this is where you build your character. If you do hand-drawn, I like to use it to just prepare my scene. But yeah, if you do hand-drawn, know that your animation needs to start on frame 1, not frame 0. Think of frame 0 as like a frame to prepare stuff, either a puppet or just your animation, or notes, I don't know. And the next thing that is important is the layers. So the layers work a little bit like Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint or any of these drawing software. If I go over here, there's a lot of different buttons. We're not going to see all of them today. We're going to see this one. So here it says new layer, and if you press, there is a lot of layers. This is scary, I know. Today we're going to focus on 2. Vector and frame by frame. So vector is to draw one image, like one drawing. If you do a rig, usually like the pieces of the rig will be like vector layers like that, usually. If you want to do some animation, you need to select frame by frame, okay? So that's what I'm going to take, frame by frame. And here it adds your layer. This is a vector layer. This is a frame by frame layer. You see they have different icons. I'm going to go on my frame by frame layer. And in the timeline you see here on frame 0, there is a drawing. I'm going to go into my tools right there. Yes, there's a bunch of tools. Are we going to see all of them today? No, we're going to use 2 of them. The freehand, which is this little pencil, and also the select points, because sometimes you need to erase stuff. And, also the eraser. Know that the eraser here is washed out because I can't erase what I don't have. But as soon as you draw something, like this, I have my eraser. You can also use the eraser on your pen. So that's my frame 0. I'm going to just put a 0 here so we know. And I'm going to go into my timeline, and we're going to make a new drawing. How do we make a new drawing? So I'm going to get your attention to another corner of the screen, right here. This is what I call the hand-drawn corner. You have most of everything you need. You can add a new frame, delete a frame, or duplicate a frame. I know it says frame, but just imagine it says drawing, okay? So here I have my first drawing. If I press on the plus, I'm gonna add a new drawing after this one. And then if I click again, another one. So you can just like click a bunch of times. If you know you want to animate on 2s or on 3s, you can just click a bunch of times and you're gonna have a lot of drawings. If you want to delete stuff in your timeline, you can just click and drag, like on the line here, you click and drag, and you can select a bunch of drawings. And if you press delete on your keyboard, they disappear. So here I have my first drawing. If I want to move to it, you can either move the little needle here, or you can also use these buttons right there. You have previous keyframe and next keyframe. I know it says keyframe, but bear in mind, Moho is mostly a rigging software, so yes, it says keyframe, but if you use these two buttons, you can just hop from one drawing to the other. I changed the shortcut to those to like H and J, because I like it, but you know, you do you. So I have 2 drawings here. I'm gonna draw a little ball right there. And if I want to make a new drawing, you can press here, it creates a new frame, you can draw your other drawing, and you just keep on doing that. Of course, there's a shortcut for it, but I don't want to have too many shortcuts in this first video. Yes, I'm just animating this very fast. Beautiful animation. Wow. Wonderful. And then if I take my little needle here and I scrub, you have a beautiful animation. You see that my drawings are on 2s. If you wanted them to be on some other value, this is what this last number here is for. So now they're on 2s, but if I instead had them on 3s, or 5 or 6, or you know what I mean. If I put them like on 4th here and I make a new drawing, each time I create a new drawing, it will be, you know, like 3 frames apart. If you want to move these little drawings, you can click and drag them. If you want to delete them, you can click and delete them. You can also copy and paste them through your timeline with the keyboard shortcut, like Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, or Command-C, Command-V. Know that it is not like in Harmony. If this is my drawing number 1, and I take it and I copy and paste it somewhere, these are now 2 drawings. So if I mess up this one, it doesn't mess up the first one. So unlike in Harmony here, the drawings are not linked by default, but there is a way to make them link together. It's just not something I want to get into today, but there is a way, so don't worry about it. Know that the Moho timeline only shows you 1 layer at a time. If you want to see more layers, maybe you have a ball and there's a tail attached to it and you still want to see the timing of this layer, know that you can make your other animation layer. And to do so, you need to be on frame 0. Here, the reason why these layers are washed out is because I am currently on frame number 7. So always make sure you go back to frame 0 before you create a layer. So here, I'm going to create a new frame by frame layer, and it's going to be the one I use to make like a tail on my ball. But it's hard because I don't see the timing. So, like I said, just go in your timeline, and if you press here on this little square with the check mark indicates who is visible into your timeline. And I think by memory, there's like a maximum of 10 by default that you can put, just because otherwise the timeline is going to get overwhelming. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So I have the timing of my original ball, and if here I want to have the tail, I just have to, you know, create the drawings, create the tail, and, you know, just keep animating. And last but not least, if you want to make one of the layers transparent, it's super easy. You can double click on the layer, and then this window will open. This window is super great. If you are curious and want to venture on your own, I recommend it. I found so many cool things by just dabbling in it. But what I want to show is you have here the option to lower the opacity. And you can also colorize the layer, which I really like when I'm doing rough. I like to be able to just take my layer and maybe turn it blue, like this, and then press OK. So when I have my rough animation and I want to go to cleanup, I really like to have my different parts of animation sometimes on different colors. It just helps me get things organized and have fun. Oh, and by the way, this is also where you change the name of your layer. Okay, so I think I've said everything to just be able to have you guys going and have fun. So yeah, in the comments, tell me what you think, and I really hope you have fun. Of course, like I said, this is just a little introduction. There's so much things to cover, like all these tools, like all the drawing tools and the textures and everything. So like there's so much things to dive into. I am not doing this today, so just use the default brush. It's already fun as is. Just go back to the source. Animate. Don't worry about all the toys and the crazy things you can use. Just have fun for once, okay? So yeah, I will see you next time in another video. And once I'm so grateful, thank you for everyone who helps me in this journey. The Moho team is amazing, the Moho Discord server, a bunch of great people. Thank you, Rappy, for always whispering in my ear these crazy tricks. And thank you to Victor, who is always there to answer my questions. So yeah, I will see you again next time for more video. Goodbye!